Let me start with something that most people don't want to hear. And if this annoys you a little, good, because it probably means it's hitting somewhere real. If you've sent out 50, maybe 100 resumes, and nobody is replying, you are not unlucky. And the market is not against you. You are just invisible. And invisible is worse than rejected, because at least rejection means someone saw you. Because most people think getting hired is about trying harder, applying more, tweaking their CV again and again, and hoping that eventually something lands. But what they don't see is that they're stuck in a loop that feels productive, but is actually keeping them exactly where they are. It looks like effort, but it's not direction.
I've been there before, sitting in a small rented room, checking my bank account, and seeing a number that makes you pause a little longer than you want to admit, wondering whether this is just temporary or whether this is quietly becoming your reality. And the more you push, the more it feels like nothing is moving. And at some point, you realize something uncomfortable. Most people don't fail because they're not good enough. They fail because they keep showing up in a way that makes them easy to ignore. And no amount of effort fixes being forgettable. So in this video, I'm going to show you a different way to approach this. Not by doing more, but by doing it differently. By making better decisions, choosing better timing, and positioning yourself in a way that actually gets you seen. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll understand why some people send 10 applications and get interviews, while others send 100 and hear nothing. If this hits something for you, subscribe, share this with someone who is stuck in that loop right now, and then join the Destiny Architect Telegram chat, because that's where we go deeper into how to actually apply this properly. Now let's break this down. The first thing you need to understand is this. Most people apply randomly, then wonder why the results are random. And this is where they lose the game before it even starts. They wake up, open a job portal, scroll through listings, and send out applications based on urgency instead of clarity. And what that creates is not momentum. It creates noise. And noise is exactly where you disappear. So the first shift is to stop thinking about more applications and start thinking about better alignment. And this is where achievement perspective becomes dangerous in a good way. Because instead of acting just to feel productive, you start asking whether this move actually gives you an advantage or whether it just makes you feel less anxious for the next 10 minutes. Instead of asking where I can apply today, start asking where I actually have leverage, where my skill set matches what the market is currently rewarding, and where I can position myself so that I don't look like everyone else trying to get in. Because here's the truth nobody says clearly. You're not competing with the best candidate. You're competing with the most forgettable ones. And if you look like them, you disappear with them. Now, the second part is timing. And this is where almost everyone sabotages themselves without realizing it. Not all actions carry the same weight at every moment. And if you've ever noticed, sometimes you send something out and it gets ignored. And other times you send something similar and it gets immediate attention. And you think it's luck, but most of the time it's not. It's timing and state. Most people don't get rejected. They get ignored. And they get ignored because they show up at the wrong moment, in the wrong state, with no intention behind what they're doing. Now, this is where achievement timing becomes practical, not mystical, because it forces you to stop acting randomly and start acting intentionally. So instead of sending things whenever you feel like it, you choose when to reach out, when to follow up, and when to position yourself in front of people. So your actions don't just get buried. And let's be honest, if you are sending something when your thinking is unclear and your energy is low, the outcome is already compromised before anyone even reads it. Small shift, but over time, it compounds into very different results. Now, the third part, and this is where most people quietly fail, is networking, because they approach it from a position of need instead of value. Most people reach out and say, I'm looking for opportunities, or do you know anyone hiring? What that signals immediately is that you need something. And people can feel that. But when you shift that approach and start thinking in terms of contribution, everything changes. Because instead of asking for a chance, You start offering something useful. You look at a company and instead of saying, hire me, you say, here's what I see, here's where you're leaking value, and here's how I would approach it. And suddenly, you're no longer just another applicant. You're someone who is already thinking like an insider. That's a completely different position. Now, the fourth part is something people underestimate because it feels too basic, and that is how you position yourself during conversations, whether it's a physical interview or a call. If you are constantly adjusting, distracted, and not grounded in your presence, it shows immediately. People may not say it, but they feel it. Even in a virtual setting, how you sit, what's behind you, how stable you appear, all of this sends a signal about how you carry yourself. And this is where feng shui comes in a very practical way, not as decoration, but as support. Because if your environment creates distraction, tension, or instability, it will show up in your communication, and that's enough to make someone hesitate about you. So instead of treating interviews like a checklist, start treating them as a space where people are deciding whether they trust you to perform, not just whether you can answer questions. Now, the fifth part is alignment. And this is where much of the hidden frustration comes from. Some people are trying to force themselves into roles that don't match how they naturally think or operate. Then they wonder why everything feels heavy, why progress feels slow, and why they constantly feel like they're pushing against resistance. When there is alignment, things don't suddenly become easy, but they become responsive. Your effort starts translating into results, and you don't feel like you're constantly fighting the environment. So instead of chasing what looks good, start looking at where you actually perform well, where your strengths are recognized, because that's where momentum builds. Now, the sixth part is your environment, and it's subtle but brutal. If you are working from a space that constantly reminds you of failure, unfinished work, or things that didn't move, you carry that into every new action, whether you realize it or not. You sit down to apply for something, but mentally, you are already doubting, second guessing, and expecting rejection. And that shows up in how you write, speak, and present yourself. So this is where feng shui becomes practical again. Not because it magically changes your life, but because it removes friction. So you can think clearly and act cleanly. Clear the space. Remove what no longer represents where you are going, and give yourself a setup that supports forward movement, not one that keeps reminding you of what didn't work. And finally, the last part that ties everything together is execution. And this is where most people either change everything or nothing at all. You can understand all of this, you can see where you've been going wrong, you can even improve your timing and your positioning, but if your actions don't change, your results won't either. You still need to send the applications, have the conversations, and show up. But now you're doing it with clarity instead of desperation. That difference is what separates people who get noticed from people who stay invisible. So, if you take a step back and look at this more closely, getting hired is not about doing more. It's about being seen differently, acting at the right moments, and positioning yourself in a way that makes people pay attention. So here's what I want you to do after this. Before you send your next application, pause. Ask yourself whether this is a real move or just a movement to make yourself feel better. Ask yourself whether you are acting intentionally or just reacting to pressure. And ask yourself whether your current environment is helping you show up clearly or quietly working against you. Because if you keep doing the same thing tomorrow, don't be surprised if nobody sees you again. If this shifted something for you, subscribe to the channel, share this with someone who is tired of being ignored, and join the Destiny Architect Telegram chat, where we go deeper into how to apply this properly rather than